In today's story, we will be reading Echoes of the Forgotten, unraveling the scientist's secrets. Join us on a thrilling journey as we delve into the mysteries of an abandoned school. What started as an exploration soon turned into an unforgettable adventure, uncovering a scientist's chilling experiments that changed everything. Get ready for a story of curiosity, courage, and the unforeseen chaos that awaited us in those forgotten halls. Nestled in the embrace of mist-covered mountains, the town of Crestwood held secrets whispered among its ancient trees. At its outskirts, the abandoned school stood like a forgotten relic, its weathered facade a testament to bygone years. The town spoke in hushed tones of its haunting past, a history veiled in mystery and tinged with dread. In the heart of Crestwood, a quartet of friends stirred the echoes of curiosity and adventure. Emma, with her fiery spirit and an insatiable hunger for the unknown, was the driving force behind their escapades. By her side stood Ryan, her steadfast companion, whose loyalty was as unyielding as the mountains that cradled their town. Maya, the tech-savvy intellect with a knack for unraveling puzzles, lent her sharp mind to every endeavor. Lastly, there was Alex, the daredevil of the group, always eager to chase thrills and flirt with danger. On a night tinged with the allure of mystery, Emma's eyes glimmered with excitement as she shared rumors of the forsaken school. "They say it's haunted," she declared, her voice laden with excitement and trepidation. The tales of Dr. Alexander Wells, the enigmatic scientist who vanished without a trace, fascinated them. "I bet it's just stories," Ryan remarked, though his voice held a hint of intrigue. "But if there's a shred of truth, it's worth checking out." The decision was made, sealed by the thrill of the unknown and the unspoken pact of friendship. That very night, their path veered toward the abandoned school, guided by the pale light of the moon and the restless beat of their adventurous hearts. As they approached the desolate building, its silhouette loomed like a sentinel against the night sky. Shadows danced upon its decrepit walls, and the air held a tangible weight, a chilling combination of excitement and apprehension. Emma led the way, her steps echoing through the silent corridors. Dusty remnants of forgotten textbooks and shattered glass scattered the floor, remnants of a time long past. Moonlight trickled through broken windows, casting ghostly shapes upon the walls, igniting a sense of foreboding in their hearts. The air hung heavy with the scent of decay, and an eerie silence enveloped them, broken only by the faint rustle of leaves outside and the soft echo of their hushed whispers. The school's hollow halls seemed to breathe, each exhalation telling stories of days gone by, stories waiting to be unraveled. With each step, they descended deeper into the labyrinth of abandoned classrooms, their flashlights cutting through the veil of darkness. The allure of the unknown tugged at their senses, urging them onward despite the creeping sensation of being watched. "It's like stepping into another world," Maya murmured, her voice a mere whisper against the suffocating silence. The echoes of their footsteps mingled with the whispers of the past, each corner holding secrets untold. And as they ventured further into the heart of the abandoned school, little did they know that the dormant echoes of Dr. Wells' experiments were awakening, waiting to entwine their fates with the forgotten legacy of the forsaken laboratory. As they ventured deeper into the abandoned school's corridors, the weight of the forgotten history pressed upon them. Cobwebs adorned the corners like intricate lace, spun by unseen arachnid artists over years of neglect. Shadows played tricks in the dim light, twisting reality into eerie shapes that flickered and danced along the walls. "Did you see that?" Alex's voice broke the silence, his flashlight pointing toward a darkened hallway. Emma's pulse quickened. She followed his gaze but saw nothing except the darkness. "Maybe it's just our minds playing tricks on us," she offered, though a tremor of uncertainty lingered in her voice. Ryan's brow furrowed as he scanned the surroundings, his flashlight casting a pale glow over faded lockers lining the hallway. "I don't like this," he admitted, his tone echoing the unease that settled among them. Maya's footsteps faltered briefly before she resumed walking, her gaze darting from corner to corner. "Let's just check a few more rooms, then we can head back," she suggested, her attempt to mask her unease evident in her voice. Agreeing reluctantly, they continued their exploration, each room yielding a glimpse into the school's past, a forgotten blackboard covered in chalk dust, rows of empty desks gathering layers of dust like forgotten memories, and faded posters clinging stubbornly to the walls, bearing messages of encouragement long faded by time. The sense of being watched persisted, an unsettling feeling that lingered in the air like a silent observer. Despite their efforts to dismiss the unease, an inexplicable tension hung between them, amplifying every creak of the decaying floorboards and every whisper of the wind that seeped through the broken windows. As they reached the end of a particularly desolate hallway, a distant sound echoed, a soft scraping that sent a chill down their spines. Their gazes met, wide-eyed with apprehension, a silent agreement passing among them to retreat. Yet, before they could take a step, a sudden movement in the darkness ahead froze them in their tracks, a fleeting shadow disappearing around a corner. Their hearts raced as they exchanged tense glances, the unnerving sensation of being unwelcome guests in the abandoned school growing stronger. Little did they know that their presence had stirred something dormant, awakening echoes of a past best left undisturbed, a history yearning to reveal its secrets, and a presence lurking within the forsaken walls, waiting to make its presence known. The distant scraping echoed, causing a collective shiver down the group's spine. Emma's heart raced with a mixture of trepidation and intrigue, her curiosity guiding her further into the unknown. "Something's not right," Maya whispered, her voice trembling as she pointed her flashlight toward the corridor where the elusive shadow had vanished. Alex clenched his jaw, his apprehension evident. "We shouldn't be here," he muttered, his bravado waning in the face of uncertainty. Ryan's grip on Emma's arm tightened, a silent plea to retreat. "Let's just go, Em," he urged, a tinge of urgency in his tone. But a relentless curiosity gnawed at Emma, urging her to uncover the mysteries lurking within the school's desolate halls. "Just a quick peek," she insisted, her voice wavering but resolute. The air hung heavy with the weight of the unknown as they cautiously advanced. Shadows danced, casting eerie shapes that seemed to pulse and move with a sinister rhythm. Each step forward felt like a journey into a forgotten past, the echoes of time reverberating in the silence. Their flashlights cast feeble beams, revealing forgotten relics of an era long gone, a blackboard covered in chalk dust, rows of dilapidated desks, and lockers bearing remnants of long-forgotten memories. Yet, the secrets they sought remained elusive, veiled within the crumbling walls. As they approached the end of a dimly lit corridor, a chilling breeze swept through, rustling papers and causing the shadows to twist and coil. Faint murmurs seemed to flutter in the air, a whispering echo from a time lost to memory. "Did you hear that?" Ryan's voice wavered, his eyes darting nervously around the corridor. Emma nodded, her senses on edge. "It sounds like someone's trying to say something," she murmured, her voice barely audible over the eerie echoes. Approaching a half-open door, they peered into a forgotten laboratory. Dust-covered vials lined shelves, and scattered journals revealed cryptic notes chronicling Dr. Wells' relentless pursuit of scientific breakthroughs. Maya's eyes widened as she leafed through the aged pages. "Dr. Alexander Wells," she read aloud, her voice tinged with disbelief. "This is his lab." The journals unveiled the scientist's descent into obsession, detailing clandestine experiments and the blurred lines of ethical boundaries. The chilling realization settled among the group. The abandoned school harbored the remnants of Dr. Wells' enigmatic work, and the echoes of his unsettling past reverberated within the forgotten laboratory. As they delved deeper into the cryptic writings, a sense of foreboding settled over them, a haunting sensation that this discovery was only the beginning. A catalyst setting in motion events that would unravel the dark secrets lurking within the abandoned school's shadowed corridors. The revelation of Dr. Wells' secretive experiments lingered like an uneasy fog in the teens' minds as they cautiously retraced their steps through the abandoned school. The flickering beams of their flashlights danced erratically, casting eerie shapes on the decaying walls, intensifying the sense of being watched. "Something doesn't feel right," Ryan muttered, his voice barely audible amidst the unsettling silence that enveloped them. Emma nodded in agreement, her heart racing with a mixture of fascination and apprehension. "Let's find our way out," she suggested, her voice tinged with urgency. Their retreat led them through winding corridors, each step echoing like a drumbeat in the cavernous silence. Yet, the oppressive stillness seemed to deepen, as if the abandoned school itself held its breath, concealing secrets that begged to be unearthed. As they passed a particularly darkened hallway, a faint whisper tickled the edges of their perception, a fragment of words that slipped through the cracks of time. "Help me." Maya's breath hitched as she stopped in her tracks, her eyes wide with alarm. "Did you hear that?" she asked, her voice quivering with uncertainty. The others halted, straining to discern the source of the ghostly plea. The air thickened, charged with an inexplicable energy, as if the very walls of the forsaken school held the echoes of souls long forgotten. "It sounded like a voice," Alex remarked, his voice hushed, eyes darting around the dim corridor. Ryan's gaze flickered toward an adjacent doorway, barely visible in the dim light. "Maybe someone's in trouble," he suggested, a flicker of concern in his eyes. Emma's instincts warred between the desire to flee and a stubborn curiosity urging her forward. "We should check it out," she said, her voice firm despite the trembling in her heart. They cautiously approached the doorway, their breaths shallow with anticipation. Pushing it open, they entered a room cloaked in shadow, broken sunlight piercing through a cracked window, casting fragmented beams on the dusty floor. In the corner lay an old radio, its crackling static intermittently interrupted by garbled words. "Please, help." Maya's hand flew to her mouth, eyes wide with disbelief. "Someone's trying to communicate," she whispered, her voice barely audible above the crackling radio transmission. A chill swept through the room, a spectral presence hanging palpably in the air. The group exchanged uneasy glances, the sense of urgency growing with each haunting plea for help that echoed from the radio. With apprehension gnawing at their resolve, the teens realized they were entangled in a web of mysteries, one that connected the echoes of the past with the present, beckoning them to uncover the truth hidden within the abandoned school's enigmatic corridors. The haunting plea for help reverberated through the dimly lit room, weaving a chilling tapestry of unanswered questions that hung heavy in the air. The crackling radio, emitting sporadic transmissions from a bygone era, seemed like a portal to a past yearning to be acknowledged. Maya tentatively reached for the radio, her fingers trembling as she adjusted its dial, trying to clarify the fragmented transmission. The static crackled and faded, giving way to disjointed snippets of speech. "Must stop. Danger. Help." "It's like a distress call," Ryan murmured, his brows furrowed in concern. Emma's heart raced with a mix of unease and determination. "There's someone out there who needs help," she stated, her voice wavering but resolute. "We need to find out more." The group exchanged hesitant glances, their thoughts a chaotic swirl of fear and curiosity. Their surroundings seemed a whisper of secrets long buried, urging them to delve deeper into the enigma shrouding the abandoned school. Stepping cautiously out of the room, they continued their exploration, following the faint echoes of the distress call. The hall seemed to stretch infinitely, each corridor bearing silent witness to the untold stories that haunted the forgotten corners of the building. As they ventured further, a faint glimmer caught Maya's eye, a door partially concealed behind crumbling debris. With a collective sense of foreboding, they approached, the door groaning as Maya pushed it open, revealing a staircase leading downward into darkness. Descending into the murky depths, their flashlights carved a path through the shadows. The air grew cooler, and a sense of unease clung to them like a second skin. The stairs ended abruptly in front of a heavy steel door, weathered and rusted. Maya tentatively reached for the latch, a sense of trepidation lingering in her touch. With a creak, the door yielded, revealing a hidden chamber bathed in an eerie blue glow. The room appeared frozen in time, a makeshift laboratory lined with abandoned equipment and flickering monitors. Dust-covered machines emitted faint hums, remnants of a forgotten experiment suspended in mid-execution. "Whoa, what is this place?" Alex's voice wavered, the sight before them both awe-inspiring and spine-chilling. Amidst the tangled wires and flickering screens, they found a journal, Dr. Wells' meticulous documentation of experiments that blurred the line between science and the unknown. The writing spoke of unimaginable discoveries and the dangers they unleashed upon the world. The distress calls suddenly made sense. The remnants of Dr. Wells' experiments seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, emitting signals through the ages, pleading for an end to the havoc they had wrought. As the realization settled, the group stood in silent contemplation, aware that they had stumbled upon something far beyond their understanding. The abandoned school held secrets that bridged time itself, and they found themselves entangled in a web of mysteries begging to be unraveled. In the eerie glow of the hidden chamber, the teens stood frozen, their breaths shallow with a mixture of awe and dread. The revelations within Dr. Wells' journal painted a chilling picture of ambition gone awry, unraveling a tapestry of scientific curiosity entwined with unforeseen consequences. "He was experimenting with something beyond comprehension," Maya murmured, her voice trembling as she flipped through the pages, each one revealing the depths of Dr. Wells' unbridled pursuit of knowledge. Emma's gaze darted between the aged writings and the dormant machinery surrounding them. "These experiments, they weren't just scientific," she remarked, a shiver running down her spine. "They were unnatural." Ryan swallowed hard, his eyes fixed on the flickering monitors that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. What did he unleash? He wondered aloud, the gravity of the situation sinking in. The room bore witness to the remnants of a scientific inquiry that breached ethical boundaries, blurring the lines between humanity and the unknown. The distress calls they had heard, the echoes pleading for help, now made sense, manifestations of a scientific reckoning beyond comprehension. As they pored over the journal's cryptic passages, a distant rumble resonated through the chamber, followed by an ominous hum growing in intensity. The monitors flickered erratically, casting eerie shadows across the room. "We need to leave," Alex urged, his voice edged with urgency. With hurried steps, they retraced their path, ascending the stairs with a sense of urgency gnawing at their heels. But as they reached the top, the heavy steel door they had entered through refused to budge, an impenetrable barrier sealing them within the depths of the abandoned school. Panic threatened to engulf them as they pounded on the door, their calls for help echoing fruitlessly through the desolate halls. "We're trapped," Maya gasped, her eyes wide with fear. Emma's mind raced, searching for a solution amidst the growing tension. "There has to be another way out," she declared, her voice wavering but determined. Their frantic search led them through labyrinthine corridors, but every exit seemed sealed, as if the abandoned school itself conspired to withhold its secrets. As despair settled over them, a sudden realization struck Emma: the distress calls had ceased, replaced by an ominous silence that seemed to cloak the school in an eerie stillness. In the heart of the abandoned building, the teens stood surrounded by the echoes of a scientific pursuit turned perilous, their fate entwined with the unfathomable consequences of Dr. Wells' experiments. With no apparent escape and an unsettling calm enveloping the once haunted corridors, they faced the daunting truth that they were at the mercy of forces beyond their comprehension. Trapped within the labyrinthine confines of the Forsaken School, the teens stood amidst an oppressive silence that seemed to suffocate every thought and hope. Each corridor they traversed led to locked doors or sealed windows, as if the very walls conspired to confine them within the echoing chambers of the past. "We have to keep searching," Emma urged, her voice strained with urgency. Her determination eclipsed the encroaching fear, a beacon of hope in the shadowed corridors. Ryan's eyes darted around, the weight of their predicament pressing upon him. "There must be a way out," he muttered, though his words held more uncertainty than conviction. Maya's fingers traced the walls, her heart racing with a mix of apprehension and a desperate need for a breakthrough. "We can't stay here," she said, her voice tinged with panic. The abandoned school, once a canvas for their curiosity, now felt like a prison, its secrets looming in the shadows, tightening their grip on the trapped group. With every fruitless attempt to find an exit, their hope dwindled, replaced by a growing sense of resignation. As they retraced their steps, a subtle vibration rippled through the building, a tremor that set the dust-covered remnants in motion, an unsettling dance of forgotten memories. "What's happening?" Alex's voice quivered, his eyes wide with alarm. The flickering lights cast eerie patterns on the walls, the air thickening with an inexplicable energy that seemed to pulse in tandem with the building's unrest. A distant humming resonated through the corridors, growing louder with each passing moment. The monitors in the hidden laboratory flickered to life, emitting an ominous glow that permeated the darkness. "We triggered something," Maya gasped, her voice barely audible above the escalating noise. With no clear path to safety, the group retreated to the hidden chamber, seeking refuge amidst the familiar yet foreboding surroundings. The monitors blinked erratically, displaying cryptic symbols and flashing warnings, a language of warning they couldn't decipher. Emma's mind raced, seeking a way to make sense of the chaos enveloping them. "There has to be a way to stop this," she exclaimed, her voice filled with determination. But the machinery, once dormant, now seemed to resonate with an inexplicable energy, an echo of a scientific pursuit gone awry. The distress calls, the haunting whispers, and the unlocked mysteries of Dr. Wells' experiments converged in a crescendo of fear and uncertainty, enveloping the group in an unyielding grip of the unknown. In the heart of the hidden chamber, the relentless hum of the machinery reverberated, its rhythmic vibrations merging with the growing tremors that shook the abandoned school to its core. Fear gripped the teens as they stood amidst the flickering monitors and dormant apparatus, trapped in a whirlwind of unknown forces. "We have to find a way to stop this," Ryan urged, his voice strained with urgency as he frantically scanned the cryptic writings in Dr. Wells' journal. Emma's heart raced with a mix of determination and fear. "There must be a clue here," she murmured, her eyes darting between the frantic texts, searching for a solution within the scientist's enigmatic notes. Maya's fingers traced the buttons of the dormant machinery, her mind racing with a desperate need to decipher its purpose. "If we triggered this, there has to be a way to reverse it," she said, her voice tinged with urgency. As they pieced together fragmented information from the journal, a revelation surfaced, a sequence of controls hidden within the machinery, a potential means to halt the escalating chaos. With a determined resolve, they cautiously manipulated the controls, guided by fragmented instructions left by Dr. Wells. The monitors flickered with newfound intensity, displaying intricate diagrams and a countdown timer that seemed to pulse with each passing second. As they attempted to intervene, the hum of the machinery intensified, resonating with an eerie resonance that rattled the very foundation of the chamber. Shadows danced wildly on the walls, an ominous prelude to an unknown conclusion. "We have to hurry," Alex urged, his voice trembling as the vibrations intensified, the countdown accelerating in tandem. Their collective efforts heightened, fingers moving swiftly over the controls, attempting to decipher the intricate mechanisms that powered the dormant experiments. With each manipulation, the machinery responded erratically, emitting bursts of energy that crackled through the chamber. The countdown raced towards an unknown culmination, the tension escalating as the building quaked with an ominous crescendo. Suddenly, a deafening surge of energy enveloped the chamber, blinding light searing through the room, followed by an abrupt silence. The flickering monitors dimmed, their glow fading into obscurity. The building's tremors subsided, the machinery fell silent, and the oppressive energy dissipated, leaving behind an unsettling calm. The teens stood in stunned silence, their breaths shallow, surrounded by the aftermath of their intervention. The chaos had ceased, but an ominous stillness lingered, shrouding the abandoned school in an eerie aftermath, an uncertain calm in the wake of a tumultuous storm. In the aftermath of the upheaval, the abandoned school lay ensconced in an unsettling quietude. The once flickering monitors now remained dormant, casting the hidden chamber into a shadowy stillness. The teens stood in the wake of the tumult, surrounded by a tangible sense of relief mingled with trepidation. We stopped it? Ryan's voice quivered, the echoes of the chaos still reverberating in his mind. Emma's breaths came in short bursts, her eyes fixed on the machinery, now silent and inert. I think so, she murmured, her voice laden with uncertainty. Maya's fingers traced the buttons cautiously, confirming the cessation of the tumultuous energy. It seems like it, she said, her voice tinged with a hint of awe. The weight of their actions settled upon them, the gravity of the potential catastrophe narrowly averted. The abandoned school, once a repository of mysteries and phantoms, now bore witness to their intervention, a resolution carved from the chaotic echoes of Dr. Wells' enigmatic experiments. As they ventured out of the hidden chamber, the desolate corridors seemed different, an eerie calm replacing the palpable tension that had gripped the abandoned halls moments before. Shadows no longer danced with an ominous glee. Instead, they lay dormant, silent witnesses to the events that had unfolded. We should leave, Alex suggested, breaking the uneasy silence that hung between them. Agreeing wordlessly, the group navigated the winding corridors, retracing their steps toward the entrance. Each step felt like a farewell to the mysteries they had uncovered, an echo of the eerie adventure that would forever linger in their memories. Stepping out into the moonlit night, the abandoned school loomed behind them, a silent sentinel bearing the scars of its tumultuous history. The cool night air offered a reprieve from the suffocating stillness within. With hesitant steps, the teens made their way back to town, the weight of their shared experience hanging heavy in their hearts. The secrets of the abandoned school would remain, buried within its crumbling walls, an enigma to the outside world. As dawn approached on the horizon, the teens cast one last glance back at the forsaken building, its silhouette etched against the early light. The echoes of their journey lingered, a testament to the unforeseen dangers of curiosity, the boundaries of science, and the unfathomable mysteries that lay dormant in the forgotten corridors of time.